on to show you that I am going to teach you how to make this gorgeous little folio. Now, we made one the other day that is super easy and super cute with a notebook in it. So I basically made the same thing but changed it up. So we have a thicker one, and then we have extra pockets over here. We've got a pocket here, pocket behind that, a pocket here, and a pocket here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets there. We have a pen holder, and then we have this little envelope that you can open and store stuff in. It's super cute, and this opens up to reveal a notebook behind it. So I am going to show you guys how to make this. It is super easy and super cute and makes a great gift for this year's Christmas presents under the tree, for somebody that you love, or for a Happy Meal, or for just a gift in general, or something that you just want to keep for yourself. And the paper that I use for this is my absolute favorite paper pack. It's called Stationery, and it is at Hobby Lobby. Let's get busy. What you will need for this project. First, you will need 5 sheets of cardstock. You will need one for your cover. That's going to be your main one. And then you'll need one for the pocket on the inside, one for the envelope on the inside, one to decorate the inside pages to give it extra sturdiness, and then one for your flip down that goes over your notepad. You'll need about 6 to 7 sheets of paper. I am going to use this regular decorative paper. It's just regular fine paper for the notepad. And I'm going to cut this down, double it up to the size that I need it. So you can get whatever paper you'd like to use for your notepad. You'll need probably, 10 to 15 sheets of that. You will also need a tiny hole punch, a pair of scissors, corner rounder, a 1-inch circle punch, a stapler, ink to muck up your edges, a grommet, or not grommet, 2 brads, glue. If you want a decorative edge on any of your pockets, you can do that. You will need double-sided tape, ribbon, ruler, pencil, some scrap cardstock, and string for your holders. If I forgot anything, we will figure that out as we go. So let's get started. And you will need your scoreboard. So to get started, we are going to take our main sheet that we are going to use. We're going to turn this upside down so the image you want on the front is on the back. We're going to line this into our scoreboard, and we're going to find the middle of our page. So this is a 12-inch page. I'm going to line one end up with the 12, bring it up here. And the middle of this is 6, but I'm not going to hit that at the 6. I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th line over from the 6. And that would be 1/8 of an inch over from the 6 to the right. And then I'm going to do the same thing, 1/8 of an inch over to the left. Now, you're going to set your scoreboard aside for later. And we are going to fold those lines. And now you have the front of your thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, and having this flat like this, I am going to run this side over here into my paper cutter so I can get that straight. And then I'm going to cut this down to 8 inches tall. So after you line your edges up and have this straight, get it into the cutter and then cut it this way so everything's straight. And then you can squish it flat so you can cut this side off to make it 8 inches tall. So after you do that, you can round your edges. And then we're going to open this up, and we are going to apply our ribbon. So you're going to take your double-sided tape, and because we're going to use the black ribbon that I have, I am going to put 2 pieces because it is a little thicker ribbon. So I am going to first make sure I have this where I want it, where it's not upside down, and I am going to come in here and put double-sided tape going across the middle right here. And we're going to cut that there. And then I'll put a piece right below it. Just like that, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now that you have those in, we're going to check our ribbon to see how long we want them to come out from the edges. So I'm going to double this ribbon up. You can make it a single piece of ribbon if you want, or double it. So here, and then I will make another one that's the same size. If you get your ribbon, you're going to take the backing off of one side of your piece. You're going to take your ribbon, double it up, and match your ends. And right where you're doubling it up, you are going to go like this and just lay it right there on that one piece right on the top part. And then right here on this edge, you're going to kind of bring this over down to the second one, and then lay this right there on that second one. And so you have what looks like that. And your little ribbon is sticking out. And then you're going to do the same exact thing to the other side. After you get your ribbon in, you're going to take whatever color cardstock you've decided to use as your backing for your 2 pages. And you are going to cut those down to the size that you need them to go right on over your ribbon. After you get those cut down, you're going to round all your corners so it matches what you've already done. and you can muck up the edges if you would like. And after you round the corners and muck up the edges, you're just going to, before we put glue on this, make sure that it's the size that you need it. And then we are going to glue that right on the back, all over the back of it. If you would like to add a little extra, you can put glue right over your ribbon. And then right next to it, make sure you don't come all the way to the edge, so that we don't have glue sticking out. And then we will line this up and put it where we want it. And you can do the same thing to the other side. After you get that done, we're going to make the pen holder that goes in the middle. And to do that, we're going to take our little piece of cardstock that you got. It can be whatever goes with your project, and it doesn't need to be the full length. It can be whatever length you want it to be, as long as it's not too long and it fits your pencil. So I am going to do this. I think this is about 5.5 inches. I think I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches wide. There we go. I don't want it too long. And then I'm going to take my decorative edging, and I'm going to hit it right here at the top. I think it's really cute to have decorative edging on the top of this little pen holder. Next, with the pen holder, I probably should have done decorative edging after I did this, but you're going to put it in your scoreboard, and we're going to score it right down the middle of the line. It does not matter how we're going to cut some of this off. So we're going to score it kind of in the middle, wherever we think that middle is, and then from there, we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 going to the right, and then 8 going to the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 16 total. And then from the last one on the right, you're going to go out 1/4 of an inch. And then you're going to do the same thing on the last one on the left. Go out 1/4 of an inch and score it there too. So it's going to look like this. You're going to have a ton of these little tiny score marks. And then you're going to take your scissors and you are going to cut this right here at the end of the score marks, the end of your 1/4 of an inch score line. And you are going to fold the end of the 1/4 score line on both sides. And it's okay that this does this because we're going to be gluing that in a specific way at the top. So just kind of get that straight with it. Now, all these other score lines, you're going to kind of go around and just kind of move them and squish them because we want to get this pliable. So it is kind of rounded. So then after you do that, it's pliable. It's rounded. So what we're going to do, we're going to come in here, make sure that our top, we have it facing so we have our decorative edge on the top part of our thing. We don't want it upside down. And we are going to take one side of our decorative edge and we're going to, so you have it rounded that way, we're going to flip it around and we're going to put glue right here on this 1/4 of an inch part. And then up here at the top part, if you did a decorative edge. And then you're going to put this right in the middle, right at that crease line on this side. Not right on it, but right up to it. And I'm going to glue that straight in there just like that. We'll get this top part kind of coming down so it is straight as well. And now we're going to glue this side of our 1/4 inch mark or thing right here on the top. And if you need to use a pencil to do this, you can. We're going to bring this in and then under. We're going to bring it up to our other one and then kind of squish it down. So you have it right there. And you can use a pencil to go in here to get that piece down. You just kind of curled it underneath so it met the other side. And then you have your pen holder in there. Isn't that cute? Cute little pen holder. And it holds pretty much almost any size pen. Of course, this pencil doesn't have a thing on it to hold it in, but anyways. And it fits right in the middle of your spine. So it does not disrupt anything. So after we're done putting our pen holder in, now we're going to put in our little flapper part. So we're going to get whatever colors cardstock we picked out for our flapper. And we are going to cut that the same length as the backing on this. So it's going to be the same width going across. So you're going to mark it where that width is. And for the length of it from here to here, we're going to mark this. So it is actually 2 inches longer than our folio. So you're just gonna mark it up here. It's okay if it's not exact. You just want it at least 1 or 2 inches longer than your folio. And then you're gonna cut that down. Now on our scoreboard, we're going to put our sheet in here going longwise this way. And we're gonna line this up with one of the inches over here. And we're gonna go 1, 2 inches down. And we're gonna score a line right there. And then right from that 2 inches, we're gonna go the tiny little lines on our scoreboard. We're gonna count to 2 of them and we're gonna put another one. So it's a little less than 1/4 of an inch. I think it's about 1/8 of an inch. You have a line here and a line there. You are going to fold one of those lines in half like this. And then you're going to fold the top one as well. And we're also going to round our corners at the top. Actually, before we round the corners on the bottom, we're going to line this up in our booklet up here at the top edge, sort of. And we're going to check down here. And we're going to cut this off so it's the length that we want it. We don't want that too longer than our folio. And it's okay if it's a little shorter than your folio. You can also make it so it's exact on your folio. It's all how you want to do it. But after you do that, you're going to round the corners on the bottom. And to glue this into our folio, we're going to flip it upside down. And this little flap right here, we're going to glue right here on the back of this little flap. And then you put this in your folio where you want this. Line it up. Now, after we do that, we're going to measure this so we can get the right measurement for all of our paper that we're going to be putting inside of it. And your paperwork, or your papers that you're going to be putting inside, you're going to measure it to the size that you want it on the inside of here. And then you're going to measure it to the length that we want it. And in order to do that, I put it up against the edge, bring this down, and see how long this is. And that's how long I measure this. So that way I'm not right at the very bottom. I'm just slightly above, so it can kind of hide. And then you cut your paper down. After you get all your pages cut out, you are going to line them up, round your edges if you'd like, and then we're going to take our stapler and we're going to staple it right here at the very tippy top. Just like that. And then we're going to staple it one more time over here, and then another time over here on this side. And if you would like, if you have a perforator, you can perforate each of your sheets like 1 inch, or I'd say 1.5 inches down from the top, and then you can just rip them off easily. And again, you can use whatever sheets you want for this. So to put your notebook in, we're going to turn this around and you're going to glue the back all over. And to put this in, we're going to turn this around. I like doing this upside down because it's easier to see where my bottom crease line is that's closer to this side. So we're just going to bring this around like this, and we're going to put this in the middle. Don't care on that. And we're going to line this up right, not right on, but sort of close to that bottom crease line. And we're going to straighten it and put it on there just like that. And then we can cover it. And we have our little notepad under there. And now you can get a scrap piece from some of the decorative paper that you use, like this one or whatnot, and make a piece that goes along this top. So you would measure it, cut the corners, and then glue it on the top. So you're going to make your little piece kind of like this. So this is about 1 inch wide, and then I rounded both of the corners to match the rounded corners on my paper. And you can take your ink and muck up all the edges on this if you like with your ink, and muck up the edges. And to glue this on to cover the not so pretty staples, we're just going to put glue all on the back of this. And we're going to glue this right up at the top on top of our paper. Just like that. So now our paper has a decorative top. Okay, so after all that's in, now we're going to make the envelope to go right here on the top. So you're going to pick your cardstock that you chose for that envelope. So I'm going to use this for the envelope. And you are going to place this cardstock right on top, just like this. And we're going to mark about 1 inch out from this piece of cardstock, the dark brown. So we're going to go about 1 inch out on this side and 1 inch out on this side. And we're going to cut that down all the way on both of those sides. Now, after you've cut this on this side and you have about 1 inch on either side, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make a line right here. We're going to go in from the edge of this dark brown sheet that you put in here, just like a hair, in and make a line there. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. We don't want it flush with this edge, but we don't want it too far from the edge. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to get our scoreboard. You're going to put this in your scoreboard, and you are going to line this line up with one of the lines that you just, or the line that you just put on there. You're going to line it up with one of your score lines, and you're going to score it all the way down right there. We're going to do the same thing with the other line that we put over here. We're going to score it all the way down over here. And then we're going to turn our page so it's longwise. We're going to line this up with one of the inches on the edge here, and we're going to go in 2 inches. 1, 2. And we're going to score it right at the 2 inch line. And then from there, we're going to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to score it right there at 4 inches from that one. And then you're done scoring for that. Now we're going to take the longer piece down here at the bottom, if you see all the scores, and we're going to fold this right here at this 4 inch fold line. Get in there with your bone folder. After you do that, you're going to bring this over, and we're going to see where our score line is back here on the top part. And we are going to take our pencil, So our score line is right here on the back, and we're going to go down about 1/4 of an inch and make a mark on the top of this page. And then we're going to cut that down right where we put that mark. Then you have what looks like this. And you have this sheet is about 1/4 of an inch down from this score line. Now we're going to fold this score line down, and we're going to fold our side score lines. Then we're going to take our scissors, and the top part is your 2-inch section, and this is your longer section down here. We're going to cut this side off, and right when we get to the score line right here, we're going to turn it and go sideways. And we're going to do the same thing for this side. Cut right up when we get to that score line. We're going to turn it and do a little diagonal cut. And now we're going to close this, and we're going to do the same thing up here, but we're going to come a little past that sheet. So we're going to kind of go under it and go just slightly past it and out. So this is below the line level of that. We'll do the other side and out. So you have what looks like this. Now we're going to open this, so we can round the corners on our envelope right there and here. And if you have rounded corners on the bottom of your little piece, we're going to put this on that little dark brown sheet on our folio that's in front of your notepad. If your corners are rounded on that and you chose to do that, then you can round the corners on the bottom of your envelope as well. So after you do that, you can take a bigger circle punch or a thumb notch or whatever you want. If you would like, you don't have to do this. You can put in a little thumb notch in here like that. You can muck up the corners, and we are going to make the little circle thingy that goes on here. So you're going to take some cardstock that you have, and you're going to take your little inch hole punch, and we are going to punch out 8 of these little circles. After you cut 8 of those circles out, you are going to glue them on top of each other, one right after the other. Just sandwich them like that, and then turn to make sure they are straight. And you're going to do 4 for this one and 4 for the other one. After you have your 2 little discs done, we are going to take a pencil, find the center of it, make a little mark. That is where you are going to place your little hole. And we're going to take our tiny hole punch, and we are going to punch a hole right there in that little tiny dot that we put on. Now you're going to take your envelope, you're going to close it up like this, and we're going to figure out where we want to put our things. So you're going to set them on there, get them in the center where you want them, and then you're just going to take your pencil, stick it through that little hole, and you're going to mark on your paper where you need to put that hole for your hole punch. You're going to do the same thing for the bottom piece. Get it through. We're going to take our hole punch for the top piece. The bottom piece we won't be able to do because it is too low, so you won't be able to do it with your hole punch if yours doesn't reach that far down. So the bottom one, you're just going to take a pair of tweezers, find your little hole, and just poke it a little. So we're just making a hole so we can get our brad through it. Now you're going to get your 2 little brads. Now you can take ink and muck up the edges of your little thingies if you want. And you're going to take your brad, put it through the center of that hole, and on the bottom one, you're going to put your brad right through the hole on your envelope on here, and you're going to spread those little wings. And I forgot to say, we're going to need a piece of washi tape for this on the inside of the envelope. I like using these little washi tape stickers, little square stickers. They work perfect for this. But the reason we put a little washi tape, a little piece of washi tape in here, is so when we tuck things into our envelope, they don't catch up on our brad that we just put in there. After you get that one on, you can glue this shut. Put glue on this flap and the other flap. And you close that shut. And then you can put your other little thing in on the top part. And the top one, you don't need washi tape if you don't want it, because we're not putting anything, tucking anything in that one. So you'll have that. And now you can get your piece of string that you have for this. And your piece of string can be, 6 inches long, 5 inches long. You're just going to tie it right here on the very bottom. And we're going to tie this into a little knot and pull right underneath after we put it on our little bottom piece. And then we're going to do one more knot. And you can leave this little string here if you'd like, or you can cut that off. This little bottom one. You do want to keep the other one on there, though. And then you have your little tie thing to put on so your envelope stays shut. So to put this in our booklet, we are going to glue it all over on the back. You can make another pocket with this if you'd like, but because it is a more sturdy envelope, I like just gluing the whole part, the whole back of it. And we set this right here on our little piece that we have over our notebook. And now for our pocket on our left side, you're going to take your piece of cardstock that you're using for that. This is 12 by 12. And we are going to take this and fold it. There we go, the bottom right corner up to the top left corner, and fold it so we make a triangle. After you have it where the bottom right corner is on the top left corner, we're going to take this part and we're going to fold this over. So we come over to about here. So you have about an inch left at the top. Get in there with your bone folder. So from here, you can figure out how tall you want this pocket to be. And I think I want the pocket to come to about here. So I'm going to cut it right there. If you would like, you can round the edge up here at the top of your pocket. You can do the same thing to the bottom piece. And now after you have that, you're going to bring that in to your left side, put that where you want it on this side. And then you're going to mark it over here where you want it to end. And we're going to chop that part off. So you're just going to mark it right there, flip it upside down, and chop it right off. You can do that in a paper cutter if you want it super, super straight. So now you can round the corners on the bottom edge on this side. So to make our multiple pockets on here, you're going to open this first section right here. And we are going to, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to come in here to the back. We're going to open the back so you have this one sheet here. And the next sheet from the back, you're just going to slice a tiny bit off right here. Now we're going to do the same thing with this front pocket. We're going to hold this and we're going to come in and we're going to slice this going down that way so you can see the other part right here. So essentially, you have made yourself 1, 2, 3 pockets. And then depending on how we put this in here, 4 pockets. So we're going to open this like this, and we are going to glue this edge right here and the bottom. We're going to close that. And then we're going to come into this very back part, and you're going to put glue right here. And that's going to glue those pages. And last but not least, we're going to come in here to this front page right here, and we're going to put glue right here on this little section. And that'll glue that side. Into your page, if you want to make a pocket in the back, you're just going to glue it on the right, going down, the bottom, and the left. If you do not care about making another pocket on the very back, you can glue the whole thing. I am going to glue the whole thing. And you're going to come in here on your left page and line this up where you want it. And stick it in there just like that. And now you have made yourself your little pen notebook, little notebook with a pen holder folio. And you can close this and tie it up. You can decorate it however you'd like. And it is a super cute little addition to your journal. You can tuck it into your bigger journals. You can give it away as gifts. It's super cute. I absolutely love it. I hope you enjoyed making this. I know I did. So happy cutting.